same thing to a guru wearing a plastic crown of thorns. He talks about compartmentalizing, separating the negatives, storing away the flaws. I grabbed him and told him to pause. I said even IKEA doesn't have enough drawers. Then I went on a road trip. I took the train. I watched the hills and valleys of the old country rush by in that nostalgic way, that way that reminds you you've forgotten everything. The modern world has blanked your canvas, put you in a state of drab madness. You've forgotten that woodpeckers eat baby doves' brains. Like how they go at a tree, they just do the same but on the chick's head. Jackhammer their way into the skull until it cracks open like an egg. And you forget how chimpanzees sometimes eat their own babies, like a drunk with a kebab just wolfing it down, all hungry and crazy. And you forget that the horsehair worm is a parasite that lives in a grasshopper's head, and in order to make it to adulthood, the worm needs to live in water instead. So the insect decides to go for a swim and soon finds itself flailing around. It's too late for our six-legged friend when he realizes he's going to drown. There's nothing he can do with his dying breath. He understands that he lost all rationale, and the worm leaves his body like ditching a trolley in a dirty old canal. And you forget too that mosquitoes kill 1 million people a year. Think of that when you feel small or irrelevant. Just one of those fuckers couldn't bring down an elephant. Remember in the world's cruelty and malevolence, I found myself believing in the God of the Old Testament, playing with Job like a psycho child, torturing a bug in a sadistic experiment. Ask the animals and they will teach you, or the birds in the sky and they will tell you, or speak to the earth and it will teach you, or let the fish in the sea inform you. Which of all these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? The train shot into a tunnel and my mind filled with numbness. The rattle on the tracks sounded like 1,000 beaten drum kits. A burst of light returned us right in the middle of the fields and the trees. The sky was blue, the sun was white, the grass was long and green. And up high I could see a soaring skylark, and I could hear violins sing to its swoops and swirls, and its slow and steady beating wings deftly took the wind and pushed away the world. Spit dashed down the window at 45 degrees. I closed my eyes and was lost, captured by my reveries, where old Mother Nature laughed with a wheeze, sounding like waves crashing in some distant sea. Young man, she said, I am old. I am the mother of time and the sister of God. I know all there is about life on earth, from the blue whale to the amphipod. I am giver of love and deliverer of pain. I've watched your idleness and shuddered with shame. You roll on the rocks like a slithering worm. Well, now it's time for the worm to turn to purpose, return to the team. Snap the malaise and bring me what I need. I need action, not relaxing distraction that packs in the dissatisfaction. Do one simple thing, then see the butterfly effect. Watch it explode in a chain reaction. When the clouds cleared again, I could see the high rises, Wembley's white arch, and the sandstone houses. The train slowed down and rolled calmly to the station. I got off behind some tourists and exercised some patience. I went through the barrier and entered Euston, watched the tourist orderless commuters commuted, all of them going through the same old humdrum London, old dumb procedures. I was there too, thinking to myself, Jesus, am I just the same as all these other dull creatures, trapped in a maze of our own making, like a grasshopper drowning, flailing in this world where we've forgotten the value of candor. You say an honest thing and people just think it's banter. It made me wanna scream, but then I remembered the mantras. I create my own path and I walk it with joy. I will have a good day, cause it is my choice. I found a quiet pub and sat with a local out on a bench in the street. He was an old boy with a missing finger and several missing teeth. He wore a trilby on his head and a broken heart on his sleeve. Tell me a joke, he said, and I reluctantly agreed. Did you hear the joke about the obsessive existentialist? And neither did he. He was too busy trying to find out the meaning of life to pay attention to such trivialities. The irony, of course, is that the concept of one big joke would have assisted him greatly in his intellectual pursuit. I sipped my pint, feeling pleased with myself, but the old boy wasn't impressed. You think you're a smartass, but time will tell. You think it's pig shit just like the rest. When I was your age, I wasn't fooling about. I was working hard like a dog, barely sleeping, just sweating and bleeding every day down at the dock. We had to stand up straight to get picked out by the foreman, just to rub our rough hands along tough timber. We'd do it all again and again, knowing full well it could kill you, whereas people like you would give it all up after one single splinter. See people like me turn this mud and dirt into this great nation, transform those Surrey marshes into the heart of industrialization. It was once the biggest port in the world until containerization. But listen, everything you have and see is a gift from my generation. I sipped my pint and shrugged and said, okay, I can see you're pleased, but pat yourself on the back any harder and you'll knock out those last few teeth. We might not understand each other, but there's no need to throw a tantrum. Congratulations for building the cross which it is my duty to hang from. You're not the center of the universe, the man said, whatever gave you that impression. It all depends on your perspective, I said, and your perspective needs some dissecting. See, I'm objecting to your suggestion. I've got to mention the universe is expanding in every direction, and it's doing this faster than the speed of light. For this reason, right, I'm going to offer a correction. The center of the earth is where the north and south poles are connecting, but with the universe there's no rotation or specific trajection. There's no literal geographical center, so to consider the middle when light doesn't reveal it all, what can we base it on if not perception? The point I'm making is not about me, it's not an egotistical confession, just that the one perceiving has to be the center of the universe and of this dimension. And really, I wonder if we're all the resurrection embodying the universe's imperfect perfection, and any observations we make of the universe catching its own reflection. I left the old boy with the dregs of his pint and I headed on down to the river. The ancient Thames was the color of tea and the cloud light made it shimmer. The water was choppy and the flow was heavy and the seagulls were squawking in the sky. The south bank shadowed itself with jagged shapes that stretched out under the eye. What do I know? I said to myself. I'm just a worm wriggling on a rock. Nomad, loner, Pratyeka Buddha, feeling like Enoch, whose book was cropped out of the big one. I closed my eyes and dreamed of the saints he once witnessed. They were entreating, supplicating, and praying for the sons of men, while righteousness like water flowed before them, and mercy like dew was scattered over the earth. And thus shall it be with them forever and forever. When I met him after work, my mate Pete said, it's a fantasy world that you see. I was back in North London on Primrose Hill, sitting looking down at the city. The sun was setting, the old town was glowing, the red lights shone like evil stars. Powerful people living the dream, Pete said, but at least reality is ours. That's what I say to myself when you feel the grinding relentlessness of it all. At least your own bullshit, you can sense it, taste it, feel its warmth. You don't need to trick anyone into buying whatever cheap illusion you're selling. You take your hat off and place it in the dirt and learn to love the bullshit you're smelling. Cause we've all got it in us, a hidden genius. It's the spirit, the unbreakable soul, locking artist in a cell, it still doesn't stop him. He'll make art smeared feces on the wall. And that's what we've got to do, each and every one of us. As the Buddha put it, work out your own salvation and don't depend on others. When I got back to Leeds, I walked through the city's streets. I heard the club's drums thumping, and I could hear the sirens screech. There was every flavour of poison, bitter and sour and sweet. But magic can't be seen without belief, and the glory of the night remained out of reach. The puddles on the ground fizzed like pop from the constant drizzle of the raindrops. The hanging lamb and the watching owl were lost in a thick and foggy cloud. I took the back roads, headed east then south, and the homeless man yelled up from the ground, and yet we'll be kings in the next life, if not now. Back home I sat on the doorstep and watched Schrodinger's cat walk along the wall. It leapt into the shadows of a streetlight where I assumed it continued to crawl. I lost sight of it, but what did it matter? We've lost sight of the universe too. But I guess that what's important is who we are, not what we pursue. Somewhere down the alley, shit was kicking